Good evening, everyone. I am Juan Martin R. Villafranca, and tonight, on behalf of Mr. Cuevas, Miss D, Miss Gaspar, and Miss Paulite, I will be presenting our estate management and succession planning strategy. This presentation is more than an academic exercise. It is a reflection of how succession law applies in real life. Among families like ours, where estate planning becomes a tool not only for preserving health, but for protecting relationships, avoiding disputes, and honoring legacies. Let me begin by presenting my family tree, the Villafranca family tree. Now, at the top, we have my father, Anton Villafranca. He is married to his spouse, which is my mother, John Villafranca. Together, they have four children: Paulo, Miguel, myself, and Andrea. The estate of Anton Villafranca. Let us first look at the hypothetical estate of Anton, assuming he dies ahead of his spouse, Joanne. He leaves behind a conjugal estate of 10 million pesos and separate property worth 1 million pesos. Now, in the liquidation of conjugal property, under the family code, the conjugal partnership is dissolved upon death and the estate is liquidated. The 10 million pesos of conjugal estate, one half goes to the surviving spouse, which is to Joanne, worth 5 million pesos. And the other half forms part of Anton's estate, the other 5 million pesos. We need to add Anton's separate property that is worth 1 million pesos. Now, the total estate to be distributed will be 6 million pesos. Now, we need to identify what are the compulsory heirs of Anton. Anton's compulsory heirs are one, his spouse, and number two, their four legitimate children. Under Article 888 and 892 of the Civil Code, the legitim for legitimate children is worth one half of the estate, and the spouse gets a share to one legitimate child. We need to compute the legitim and free portion. The legitim is worth one half of 6 million pesos, which is 3 million pesos. It will be divided among the four children and the surviving spouse, which is treated as a fifth child. Each gets 600,000 pesos as legitim. Now, the free portion, which is 3 million pesos, if there is no drafted will, it will be distributed again equally among the five heirs, which will be an additional 600,000 pesos each. Now, the total share per heir, if it is in intestate succession, each child and the surviving spouse receives 1.2 million pesos. Now, let us assume the death of Martin Villafranca, myself, for the purpose of this estate planning exercise. At the time of death, Martin is number one, single, has no children. Both parents, Anton and Joanne, are still living. He leaves behind 5 billion pesos in separate property, and his only surviving relatives are his three siblings, which is Paulo, Miguel, and Andrea. In towards applicable succession rules, under the Civil Code of the Philippines, particularly Articles 887 and 889, the legitimate parents or ascendants are compulsory heirs if the deceased has no descendants, which is no children or grandchildren. According to Article 887, Paragraph 2, legitimate parents and ascendants are compulsory heirs in the absence of legitimate children or descendants. According to Article 889, the legitim of legitimate parents is one half of the estate, and they inherit the entire estate if there are no other heirs. Since Martin has no spouse, no children, and no drafted will, the entire estate will go to his parents through intestate succession, which Anton and Joanne will be Martin's compulsory heirs. If his estate is worth 5 million pesos, each will get 2.5 million pesos. Both parents share equally in the full estate of their deceased child. As legitimate descendants under in the state of succession, this scenario emphasizes that parents are rightful heirs when a child passes away without descendants. Even in the absence of a will, the law ensures support flows upward. It is honoring the natural familial bond between parent and child. However, this also illustrates the value of intestate planning. If Martin had specific wishes for his assets, such as donating to a cause or leaving something to siblings or friends, he would have needed to execute a valid will to direct the free portion accordingly. In walking through the estate planning scenarios of the Villafranca family, we have seen how the principles of succession law provide both structure and fairness. It is ensuring that the people we love are protected even after we're gone. We examined the intestate of Anton Villafranca, where liquidation of conjugal property and proper distribution to his compulsory heirs, his spouse and children, ensures that his legacy lives on in accordance with the law. And finally, we looked at the intestate of Martin Villafranca, who, though unmarried and without children, leaves behind parents who are entitled to inherit from him in full, a reflection of how the law recognizes the enduring responsibility and love of ascendants. All these scenarios reinforce one simple truth. Estate planning is not just for the wealthy or the elderly. It is for anyone who wishes to provide clarity, dignity, and peace of mind for those left behind. As future legal professionals, it is our duty to ensure that succession is not a source of conflict, but a process of continuity. It is a means to honor what has been built and to pass it on with intention. This exercise is a reflection and insights challenged us to see estate planning not just a legal process, but as a deeply human one. We learned that succession is about more than distributing assets. It's about protecting relationships, honoring legacies, and bringing clarity to the people left behind. We gained a deeper respect for the role of estate lawyers as not just legal experts, but as guides who help families navigate sensitive transitions with compassion and care. Most of all, we realize that estate planning is for everyone, not just the wealthy, but for any Filipino who wants to leave their loved ones with peace and direction. Thank you so much, everyone, for the opportunity to learn, reflect, and grow in its journey as future members of the legal profession. Thank you.